I began the sketch with the final image in mind, as I was using the finished painting as a reference. I used a B2 pencil to create a soft and vibrant line without excessive rigidity. First, I outlined the overall composition, the figure's position in space, the character's posture, and the body's axis of symmetry. It was important to establish a stable pose and balance right away. So I outlined the major forms, the head, shoulders, pelvis, and knees, with simple geometric shapes. Next, I refined the body proportions and clothing silhouette. I used the eraser extensively, not to erase mistakes, but to find the form-lightening lines, softening transitions, and removing excess. I worked minimally on the face, only outlining the eyes, nose, and lips to preserve the artistic freedom. I laid out the surroundings, windows, lamp, floor, schematically as a support for the composition without delving into details. The sketch was intentionally kept simple as a base for color and emotion, not as a finished graphic drawing. I approached the painting step by step, strictly adhering to a consistent pattern to ensure the piece remained cohesive. I used acrylic paints and 3 brushes, a large one for the background, a medium one for the main shapes, and a fine one for the details. I started with the background because it sets the overall mood of the painting. Using a large brush, I applied warm orange and ochre tones, working with broad, energetic brush strokes. I didn't strive for an even wash. Instead, I left a visible texture to allow the background to breathe and create a sense of warmth, comfort, and inner tension. I blended the windows and lamp directly into the still wet background, allowing the colors to blend subtly. Then I moved on to the character's clothing. Using a medium brush, I applied pink and crimson tones, gradually increasing the saturation in the folds and crevices. The painting has character and mood, making it memorable. A bold combination of naivety and decorativeness. What's not quite right? The body proportions are off in places, especially in the legs and torso. The face could have been worked more carefully, adding more volume. The light and shadow are still sketchy, without a single light source. What could be added or changed? Enhance the light and shadow on the figure to give it more volume. Slightly simplify the background or make it less contrasting. Add more texture to the clothing or floor. Style and audience. The painting leans toward naive expressionism, with elements of comics and illustration. It might appeal to people who enjoy bright emotional images, art with provocation and irony, as well as those who appreciate a hand-drawn, live presentation without striving for academic precision. I emphasized the contours confidently, almost graphically, so that the figure wouldn't get lost against the vibrant background. I painted the white elements of the costume with a touch of warm tones, avoiding pure white, this added volume and vibrancy. I painted the hair after the clothes so they wouldn't blend into the background. I used a combination of yellow and gold tones, adding darker lines here and there for rhythm and movement. I used a medium and fine brush, emphasizing the wavy structure without overloading it with detail. The face is the most delicate stage. Here I switched to a fine brush. I painted the skin with light, almost pastel shades, adding blush and subtle shadows. I emphasized the eyes and lips with greater contrast to immediately draw the eye. I deliberately simplified the anatomy, leaving the image somewhat naive and illustrative. Finally, I added small accents, contours, jewelry, a plate in the hand, and floor elements. These touches bring the painting together and create a sense of completeness. Critical evaluation of the work. What worked well? A strong color scheme. The warm background contrasts beautifully with the figure. The image is immediately readable. The composition is clear and expressive.